Okay, good morning. Oh, good morning, good afternoon. Are we live? We might be live. Anywhere. First chat is, what's Jemmy? Jemmy, it seems familiar, sort of, but I'm not 100% sure I know what it is, so you have to remind me what Jemmy is. Do I like Jemmy? Who's on here so far? Ooh. All right, if everyone is, well, whoever's on here, send a message so I know that you're on, first of all. Theo Kelly, I know, is on. Hello, Chris Marie. You look suspiciously like a dog I know. Well, the profile picture, not you personally. My chair's a little lever that goes up and down and so off. Where's John Smith? There he is. Why'd you retract your man? Don't tell me you misspelled hi. It's only 2 letters. How the hell would you do that? Remember, we have to let King Banana Head play. You know, if Anthony's watching this, I would tell you, dude, you better engage with your audience. And he makes these videos and people leave comments and he doesn't say anything. I'm sure he's busy with his baby. But can you believe it's been a month since the last stream? A month. It's like that time of the month. Get your Tim, you know what? Tim Tamps. You know that TV behind me? For some reason now, all these, smart TVs, whenever we turn them on, they try to log into my phone. It's the weirdest thing. I have to dismiss it from YouTube. Why are they beaming their requests to my damn phone and telling me to log? I don't want to log in my phone. Could you imagine you log in and then they're going to just extract, they're going to cleave all your contacts, all your messages probably. What kind of nonsense is that? Oh, King Banana Head's over. All right. Welcome back. We can get rid of that. We can get rid of that. And what do we have there? Okay. Earlier today, I happened to be watching a little bit of Scott Adams Says. Real coffee with Scott Adams. I have real seltzer with Ozzy's Robots. The unsimultaneous sip. And he said, how do people live in Florida? I'm thinking, like, what the hell are you talking about? It's the 3rd most populated state in the union, man. And then he brings up insurance. He's like, what with all those hurricanes and all? And you know what? We pay the insurance bill. That's how we live here. And then he even acknowledged that California has crazy insurance because of their fires, earthquakes, landslides, mudslides, all that other stuff. So, yeah, we get whacked with insurance. But it is what it is. We pay it and move on. We don't have state income tax, so, that helps. And there's other things that are cheaper. Now, I got to tell you, though, it was fatiguing because we went through Nicole, and that left a mess. I think the wind gusts for Nicole were worse. So what I noticed was that the sand that had penetrated everywhere was a lot worse with Nicole. So after Nicole, I cleaned up. It took me like 2.5 days to clean up. Because if you try to get people out to clean up after these storms, forget it. They're busy. They'll charge you quadruple. And you can't see out your windows because they're filled with sand. But then when I heard the second one's coming, I'm like already shot because I'm not like a spring chicken. So I was just like, screw it. And thank God Christy had a power washer scheduled for Saturday in anticipation. Now, to be fair, they do our building, so we have an in with them, and they won't overcharge us because we use them on the commercial side. But even then, sometimes you have delays because they're busy with other projects. But in this case, they came. Thank God the house looks pristine. They cleaned all the windows, front and back, and I'm like, oh, thank God that's over. Now I think we're gonna have like 8 or 9 days of nice weather. Look, I have my cheat sheet, and I feel like it's the teleprompter. And let's see what else I have here. As for insurance, like in Florida, what you're really insuring is the land value at this point. The building and your contents, it varies obviously, but in our case, because our house was furnished by a designer, if we ever wanted to sell it, take the money and run, it's conceivable somebody would want all the furnishings because it was professionally furnished by a designer. And like most people, we don't use a fraction of the furniture. It's basically like new condition. And if you had to replicate it, it would cost you a lot more. And it's only a couple years old. And it would take you forever because a lot of it was custom made for the house. And it's all solid wood, good fabrics. But outside of that, if your stuff is kind of like off the rack IKEA stuff, most people don't care. Chances that your entire house would blow away are pretty minimal unless you're in a mobile home. So I think you could afford really to underinsure a little bit. And there's people I know that are self-insured with $1 million homes that no debt. So that's a part of the way to get around it. We don't really have debt on any of our properties, so I could self-insure if I wanted to, but I don't. So that's kind of the story when it comes to that. So if anyone listens to that, that's what people do. What else is going on? I don't have a lot, and I'm not going to stay on very long. So I did want to talk about the milestone auction. It was a milestone of sorts, but I went to the page that I thought was interesting, but before I even get into that, let me go back to two things. I pointed this out on a video that I made, this Tetsugen flying saucer. And John at the Robot Hut was saying how they cheapen things. This is true because I have the sound turned off. What I discovered when I had bought this as an upgrade, if you see here, I don't need the sound. I'll just wait till it shows you the part. Basically, one of those Tetsugen robots, Gigantor robots, see this one? He moves. He has a mechanism in there that makes him turn from side to side. So we assume that was the first version of the toy. And then later on, they tabbed it in. That's actually tabbed in over here. Where's my little mouse? So this one's tabbed in, and that one's floating on a shaft that allows him to turn. And he's right that they do cheapen things. We saw it even like, say, with the toy. This is now for you toy aficionados. A toy like, say, High Bounce Moon Scout. If you look at that, it has a remote. The chest opens up and it fires those balls and shoots those balls at you. And then when they came out with Colonel Haphazard, the batteries went in the behind a plastic backpack, no remote, and no mechanism at all. It had the same walking and spinning antenna, lighted antenna. So they did cheapen it and change the lithography a little bit. Here's the only problem I have with that. It's not even a theory. It's definitely true. But this particular toy here is so freaking rare that why would you need to do that? I mean, there's very few examples of these toys surviving. Oh, thank you. I don't know how to say it. So I don't know why would a toy like this that they couldn't have had a big run. You got to remember, these were launched back at the time that the anime was new. And it wasn't a huge market. These were Japanese market toys. So the market in Japan was very light compared to Europe and the United States, especially the United States. That's why like the Japanese Batman toys are worth tens of thousands, if not, a car that went for 150,000 because the stuff they made for Japan only had a much smaller audience. So that was my thing. Like this toy, they couldn't have made a lot of them because there's very few surviving, and it's a hefty, nice sized toy. So you mean to tell me that like I don't know, you made 100 of them, and you're like, hey man, we got to cheapen it. It just seems implausible, but it probably is the case. I'm not discounting that very well is the case. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to point out before I go to milestones auction results is I've been watching this Ultra Q. I don't want to get into um, any copyright stuff, but Ultra Q predated Ultraman, the first in the series, I guess you would say. And because I have a couple of the monsters from Ultra Q, like that ugly walrus, and I think the Red King was on Ultra Q. This is the cheesiest B grade, if not C grade, but I really enjoy it. It's just everything you want in your kaijus. And I mean, look at it. It's just funny. And the fact that they have all the episodes, I'm trying to fast forward it. I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to get a copyright strike. So I can't, um, I don't know why it's like this. Let's see. Let's get to, let me see if I can just get to some of the monsters here. This is weird that it would. We saw the guy sticking out of the cave. Ugh, did you hate these commercials? What are they now? They're not letting you. Oh, look, I'm already at episode 6. Let's go back. The gift from space. Damn. Come on, come on. Let's turn this off so that it doesn't pick up the audio. The audio for sure will. I can't imagine that this would be something that they could copyright, but they're very. So anyway, here's a better example. It's a giant snail monster. This is like the cheesiest of the cheese, and as I've said now 3 times, and once you find these toys, they're just so lovable, adorable that um, you'll really treasure them. And so this is a series I recommend more even than Ultraman. Start with Ultra Q. It's a lot of fun, and you can see here as I scroll up a lot of the monsters on the series are the kaiju's. And here you get to Kangion, which is very, if I'm pronouncing them correctly. So that's and a lot of the vinyls, Sofubis. They still make the Sofubis of some of these monsters. So that's my recommendation. When you're inundated with crap in your streaming services, whether it's Netflix or D Plus or Hulu or Peacock or whatever the hell it is, just go to YouTube, man. They got tons of this vintage stuff. The other thing I wanted to tell you, I'll get into it more next month on my live stream. I guess William Shatner is feeling his age a bit. I think he's 93, and some of his iconic props, like his personal phaser, uh, are going up for auction. So that to me is would be like one of the most iconic of the iconic, if not the number one Star Trek prop to get would be Kirk stuff. So they estimated 100, I think, to $200,000 for his phaser. Uh, I think it was at Uhuru. Hers sold for like 60,000, something like that, 70,000. So he's going to get some big bucks. And I guess at 93, he's probably thinking, unless I have a family that has like literally a Captain Kirk museum, they're going to be offering his uniform, his phaser, his tricorder, communicator, whatever. And so that's something to keep an eye. It's gonna bring crazy money. And at 93, I wish I can get him to autograph some stuff. That would be cool. Like those things in particular, or just some letter saying, "Hey, congrats, man! You got my phaser." Um, Anyway, so let's go to milestones. And this is kind of a more toy focused stream. Too bad Al Schlesinger's not on here. He'd be like asking a million questions. Oh, he would love my. We have a full size robot that was in Lost in Space. A partner of his. I don't think I made a short. So you're going to be seeing pretty soon. I don't know exactly when. Probably a couple weeks. There's going to be a new full size robot that's in the collection. Anyway, let's see. We're on page 7. Let's go to 6 real quick. So, these are some of the prices realized. Now, out of these here, there's some things I won directly on his site, and some things because I was bouncing back and forth I got from live auctioneers. So it was sort of a hodgepodge of how I won the bids. So you might actually see where some things I say, or it'll show here that I won them, and the other things you won't even see that I sold them, or not sold them, won them on here because I won them through live auctioneers. But with that, you can see like some of the cool stuff here, like the Atom Jet, which was pretty good, 4,000 smackers. That's not bad. Nice little car here. Um, Now, I won this here, this police car. I won it through live auctioneers, and I got the fire chief version. Don't ask me why. I have almost like no police cars displayed, but I have a ton of them that I own in the closets. And the reason I won this particular one is because, and it's cheap, 350 smackers. This is basically the friction version of the one that John Rigg repaired for me with the speed radar speed indicator, except on the battery version, it's on the trunk here, sort of where they have the fin. And also these spotlights in the front, I'm assuming they move. I could see the shaft over here. You see my little cursor. So I said, you know what? I want the friction in the battery version. It's just neat to see how they changed it up a little bit. And this one, actually, I kind of like the design almost a little bit better. So once they come in, which I think he shipped them already, and then I noticed the fire chief version, and the fire chief versions are always, always, always rare than the police versions. Don't ask me why. Probably because the cop cars tend to look a little cooler, and most people like the cop stuff better. But the fire chief stuff is cool too. So I got 2 fire chief toys, and it's always the chief. It's not just like a fireman's toy. And this one, you can see, is a little more expensive. But I like it. It's a Lincoln, first of all. I didn't even check if the other one was a Lincoln. I think the first one, the battery one, was a Plymouth. So this is fancier. It's a Lincoln, Ford quality, high end. I can tell by those canted headlights in the front. And it has its box, which is pretty cool. So that's another one. When those come, I'll probably, by the time I'm ready for another live stream, I'll do that. This here that sold for 3,500. I actually consigned this toy. I think I have 2 of these, and if I don't, I had it in a box, not even in the closet somewhere. It was in a box at another house, and I pulled it out. I'm like, I know maybe I have another color, but I don't even remember what I paid. But it seems that like it bought a good buck, so I'm happy with that. It's a cool car, though. It has a very neat cockpit. This here sold extremely cheap. Extremely. I don't know why I probably didn't bid on it. I have all 3 versions of this. But you know what? A hook robot with the hook for 1,500 bucks, man, that's a steal. And I like the light blue with the silver mouth. Even just to have in the gift shop here, have like an quote affordable, an affordable hook robot. But I did buy a cheap robot that I already have. Again, this in the box is 7,500, I don't know, 12, 13,000, depending on the auction today. So you put this with a reproduction box, you're kind of good to go. And yeah, it has a few little scratches and stuff, but not bad enough that, you know, somebody didn't get an absolute steal on. This guy here, I actually won this through Live Auctioneers, and the reason I got it is because I didn't have this box, at least not that I could find. I think this dome was replaced, so I may have the astronaut already also though, so now I have the box and I'll get rid of the one astronaut. And again, 650. I remember when this guy, now granted, mint original dome, 2000 all day long. But here's the one I bought, man, that I already have. This was like a giveaway, $900. I can't believe it, man. I could probably throw this on eBay or have my contact in Japan say, "Hey, man, throw this on Yahoo Japan." I'd be shocked if it doesn't sell for like 2000 minimum. I mean, in the box, this is over 10 grand. So I don't know. Robots are kind of like the market here. Here's robots and character toys. Now here's the market. Here's character toys. I'm like, they're really going crazy, absolutely crazy. The character stuff. So, a golden powder robot. Again, this used to be 2 to 3 thousand, loose all day long. This is the version to get, and it's more desirable, in my opinion, than the blue one. Although I like them both equally. This is probably one of my favorite robots. So whoever bought this got an absolute bargain. If it's all original, if the remote's original, even without the box. I think, and they reproduced the blue one, but they never reproduced this color. So that's the other thing. You can rest assured, man, that you got a good deal. Um, I was bidding on this, and thank God I lost it because I'll be honest with you, I was bidding high until later in the bidding process. I saw that it was a reproduction box. Not that I have anything against them, but I thought it was the original box. I've seen the car loose often enough that I, feel comfortable I could find this and buy it, um, you know, and probably for the same. And it's a cool looking piece, but I'd rather spend double, even triple, and get the box because the box is very rare. But it's a good looking toy, so I think it's a good price for whoever bought that. And the milestone, it was like kind of all over the place. It had some really great prices, some average prices. This was another bargain, in my opinion. I don't think people quite realize how rare this saucer is, how rarely it comes up. I remember when I got mine, I actually bet on this too. And the reason I didn't go crazy to get it is mine works, but it's this is a heavy, heavy saucer. There's a lot going on with this thing. And like, and as a matter of fact, like this guy back here, he actually moves. It looks like he's floating. It has like a floating effect. It lights up and moves here, in different stages. And I think the weight of the saucer makes let's call it the bump and go, a little strained. So it just kind of sets in place or sits in place. And I said, I gotta experiment and see if I had another one, if it would work exactly the same. But when it got to this price, I said, you know what? I don't want to jack it up for somebody that doesn't have it. It's a great, great saucer. And I think it was well bought. That in the box to me is, again, underrated, especially with the two pilots. Probably, I think 3,500 is a fair price for that toy. Here's one that I won directly on their site. Don't ask me why. I don't have the room to display it. I think it's cool. I've never seen this toy cheaper than $2,000. It's always on eBay between 2 and 3,000. This one is in nice condition. I like the sort of like a three-dimensional effect of these passengers behind the windows. Hopefully the window isn't pushed in or anything. And the condition overall was very good. Give it an 8 plus maybe. The box looks a little wavy. I can't really 100% tell. Bottom looks very clean. You can see here ripped in the corner, but everything else is intact. The bottom doesn't really bother me that much. It's just a large toy. Like, again, I don't know where I would display it right now because I'm tight for space. But I said, you know what? For that price, it's worth it. It's a bargain, man. I can't. I'm like a woman shoe shopping when it comes to toys. Or like my wife, whenever she sees the sale stuff, oh, it's on sale. I better get it. So this was like on sale, and I was like, I better get it. Um, this surprised me a little bit. 2,500 for the Triple S space rocket. I kind of like it. I had it once loose. I've never actually owned this in the box. 60s. I don't even know. I don't think I bid on this, but I think it's a cool toy. If you're into rockets, I like the blue with the little starburst effect. So that's pretty cool. I think it's a fair price. If it was nice condition, the box looks very very clean, and it has those pontoon signs that remind me of Naboo. Was Princess Amidala's Naboo cruiser. And again, this is where those guys steal all their design ideas. You know, when you think, what a cool ship they made for Star Wars. This here I thought was cheap. I have two of these rockets and they're different shades. That's why I keep two. I only have one box. So I was tempted, but at the end of the day, I didn't want to have three. This box is going to need some restoration. If you're so inclined, it's just the label you would, well, the label and kind of rebuild this corrugated cardboard. So I didn't think, do I want to go 10,000? I'm like, nah, I'm happy with the one. My box is pretty clean. They all tend to show these lines, which I'm not crazy about, but what are you going to do? And it's the way that label's on that wavy cardboard. It's tough to avoid. Then going back here. Now, hmm, this is an interesting one because I actually just purchased this out of Japan in the original box, which nobody had seen before, and it cost like 10 times this. Now, the usual rule of thumb on toys is that the box would bring double. But the truth of the matter is, this box bought 10 times in a very heated auction, a spirited bidding. And I think part of it, the condition of this wasn't, great. It wasn't like super duper mint clean. But the toy itself is very, very rare. And the box was like never seen up until this recent auction. So it was just weird that it came at the same time. I find it interesting that the Astro Boy version actually sold for $150 more, which I see this way more often. So this was actually a good price for the Astro Boy, and it was a really good price for the Super Getter. So good on whoever bought it. The Tetsugen Track toy, that was a pretty good price. I don't know if it's complete. Have it in the box. And again, at auction, like Smith House sold this toy for 10 times that mint box. So I think we're seeing the variables with the box on the character side, unquestionably. The variables are going up, or the multiples are going up 5 to 10 times. I think five at a minimum at this point. Even on the Batman toys. If you have a loose No More Batman versus a box one now, I think you're talking about a multiple of five, easy, easy, all day long. Bum, bum, bum. I actually like this. I didn't bid on it, but I thought this was pretty cool. If any gun people come on here later, you got to tell me if this is really rare. I know Fireball X5 is popular, probably in Japan and obviously the UK. This was a very good price for a deep sea, even though the gun's replaced, professional replaced gun. You add 300-400 bucks maybe for the gun, 50 to 100 bucks for the box. So you're buying the toy for $1,100, which I thought was pretty good. I bid on it too. But let's see. Now, as I'm scrolling through here, some of these toys actually, I had some of them that I had consigned on here. I'm not going through, which ones per se. I can't believe this Space Commander mint in the box had no bids. That was shocking. I think the opening bid was 500 bucks. This has like beautiful litho, a cool silhouette sort of effect over there. I mean, that's a shocker. Where were you guys? Why wasn't that bid? The green Dino for 650. I guess that's the kind of money these things are bringing. But what shocked me more than the green Dino, this original silver Horikawa big super giant for $450. What the hell? That was a gift, a giveaway. I mean, these have gone for 1,500 to 2,000 all the time. And the box wasn't even that bad. It's like wavy. You could just press that box. The toy looked pristine. And this is a 60s one, not one of the reproductions that came out in the 90s. And it was working. So that was a shock. I I couldn't believe that that stayed at 450. I mean, absolutely shocking. The crypto ray gun, I don't know if I bid on that or not. Maybe I did. So this car here is another shocker. Now, the truth of the matter is, I bid a little bit on this, not too much. I have this toy in the box, which is extremely rare. The box is ungodly rare. I think I paid less for the toy in the box, though, at Heritage, which was getting record setting prices for Batman toys. But honestly, so the problem with mine, it's as clean, except right around the domes here, it has like this glue residue, sort of brownish. And I was like, yeah, I don't like that. But honestly, I didn't want to step up and spend, eight, $9,000 to upgrade what I have. I mean, mine is just as clean with the exception of that, and I have the box, which leads me to ask this question: how much is this going to go for in the box? Is it 20,000? It might very well be. It might very well be at this point. Now, if I probably matched this super clean toy with my box one, I would not be shocked. As a matter of fact, I made a video of this working, so that'll be coming up. I have to just do a little bit of editing on 3 videos that I made. This was one of the toys I consigned. I don't even remember what I paid for it. All I know is that I had 2. My original thought was to display one. The other one is like unused in the box. And I think they should have blown it up to take the picture and put it together. That would have been a lot more appealing aesthetic than just leaving it, deflated. But um, again, the reason I bought 2 is I was going to display one, but then I just didn't have the room for it. So I parted with one. But I did actually get the original artwork by the artist that made this box. So I have the box art for this. I think I have 3 box art, 3 or 4 Batman box arts of these Marx toys. Once again, this freaking Jeep, which I can't for the life of me explain the price of this. Why the hell this went for $5,700? I bought it cheaper in the box not too long ago, so I guess I got lucky. But man, people love this Jeep. It's a tiny toy about this big. God bless you, man. I like it. It's a cool toy. The box doesn't even have the Jeep on there. It's a weird box. I have a video coming up on that Batman Jeep too. So now, to me, the shocker of shocked, probably I think it was the number one selling from a price perspective, was Big Lou. Charlene, the prototype, 18,000. Good God, man. um, I don't know what to say. It's uh, it's the perfect toy if you're a Big Lou fanatic and you have to have everything Big Lou, then Charlene is for you. And this I had considered bidding on. I think it's an extremely rare set to find complete. Extremely rare. And it's a cool toy, but at the end of the day, it was big. It's not going to be displayed. And the price got a little bit where I was like, nah, I don't need to have that. I'm surprised that the Robert the Robot, the more desirable windup, was passed up. That's sort of surprising. This Z101 saucer was unbelievable. 106 was unbelievably cheap. Unbelievably cheap. In the box, that's thousands and thousands of dollars. Cheap for the robot bulldozer. I didn't scrutinize the condition, but it's a cool box. construction robot toys are um, Ambassador Magma car, very cheap car. I mean, it does have some condition issues, but complete. It's extremely rare. I don't think I've seen it in the box, or maybe one time in 20 years. I think 5,000 for the Atom Patrol was probably well bought. If Mandarake had this, it'd be like 7 to 10,000. They probably would have just pressed the box, hooked up that corner over there on the side, and called it a day, you know. But it was a good, good for the buyer. Super Coon, I thought was cheap. It's my opinion. The Tetsugen Flyer was fair. I thought maybe 4,500 would have been a fair price. This Atom car was cheap. The Atom trike was cheap. Door robot was fair. Of course, this was one of the second, I think the second most expensive item in the entire auction. Tremendous Mike that I consigned. So, yes, I'm happy with the price. And people were shocked, but you know what? The toy, all original with original antenna, um, an original box, even though it had the end panel replaced. I know people that have paid over 10,000 just for the box. As a matter of fact, I remember somebody paying, I think, 14,000 just for that box. Back before Biden inflation made 14,000 worth 2,000. So, and then this I thought was cheap. I mean, you had the buyer's premium, but good for the buyer. Good for the buyer. And any other surprises here? The X7 probably very well bought. You're never going to see this. I mean, I don't think I've seen it more than twice in 20 years at an auction. I know privately some have sold. The Radar Jeep, very well bought, considering that box is next to impossible to find. But again, to me, you have a disparity now between robots and space toys and the character toys. It's almost as if the robot people got bored, like me, and said, we've had enough robots. It's time to get the other stuff. And last but not least, 1,800 for this saucer. 1,800, $180 is very cheap. Uh, ba, 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 ba. This was the end here. I did consider. I don't have Dozo the Steaming Clown. I've never owned a nice one. This was sort of nice looking. It's big. I don't know where I'd fit it. If I remember correctly, but highlights, in my opinion, of the milestone auction. Now, I blew through. I didn't even show you these pages. These aren't like the type of toys I collect. Cast iron, turn of the century. I have some, not a lot, very little. I'll just scroll through these briefly. I did bid on one. This one here, I can't believe, because it was my dad's name, so kind of reminded me of my dad. And I got outbid. I just said, you know what? I don't know what this toy's worth. I didn't want to go crazy, but apparently it's super rare. And, I wanted it as like an homage to my dad, but you know what? It is what it is. I've seen a toy that looks just like that, the organ grinder, but not that exact one, and very few in the box. So these are just some of the other cool toys you could have bid on. And, a lot of West German stuff, American stuff, that when America was making things, remember those days? Back in a day when America was making stuff. And what else do we have here? This is again all over German, Japan, Germany, Japan, United States, some UK stuff. And there was a Popeye toy that went pretty high. Where was it? Yeah, this one here. 5,500 for the bell ringer. Chine. Again, American toy. I probably should have added that, but I didn't. Oh, and a nice box Fred Ondino, minty one. I could have probably bid on this. I wouldn't display this because, again, it's huge. A huge box. Box is like this big. But it's cool. I like the Fred Ondino. I just think it's a cool toy. big giant purple dinosaur. And you know what? Not for nothing. Like, did Barney the dinosaur copy Dino the purple dinosaur? I mean, there should have been some little copyright stuff going on here. I probably should have bid also on this Punch and Judy. I remember these. Don't ask me why, but in the box, this was kind of cheap. Punch and Judy were like puppet shows back in the day. Another cheaper one. The old spooky trees never fail to hit that $2,000 mark. They have some black Americana toys that probably would be very politically incorrect today. So I think the market for them is very soft now. So we'll gloss over those. The Merrymakers and the green box, green tint, sort of like a tent with the marquee. The marquee is the sign up here that says Mark's Merrymakers on top of the piano. They make a version without. It's less desirable. Who doesn't want a cool marquee? And we started at 6, so 5 is the last of the Mohicans. Um, this Garloo, I thought this was a good price. I could have added this. I mean, I'm always on the fence with adding a Garloo. It's a giant plastic toy with a huge kind of a cardboardy box. So I was like, do I have room for him anyway? The answer was no. So, but this was a good example of it. So whoever got it, you should be happy with your Big Lou. And then these, like this thing. I mean, I'm surprised that these something like this went for $1,500. Not because it's not worth it, because like this is the kind of stuff I'd see at a garage sale. Like grandma's throwing out like all the grandkids' toys or something like that, and you can get it for $5. I'm not saying that's the case. It's clearly worth. There was a lot of bids on it, but it's not something that would typically be saved. That's probably why it went for $1,500. And yeah, so that was the other stuff. Oh, and these things were crazy. $1,200 for a friggin' mechanical cook, and 1,600. This one made popcorn. The box was nicer. The first one made spaghetti. Let me go back to him. He made freaking spaghetti. He's a spaghetti. Look at that. It looks like worm meat. And I'm going to let you in on a little secret. And you will be the first to know my live stream on it. I actually won all three of these stupid things. I have all the cutie cooks, and I said I'm going to get them all, and I did. I got them all, and I can't believe the one went for $1,600. What the hell is this one cooking? This doesn't even tell you. But I like the wind up versions to sort of like contrast with the battery ones that everyone's more familiar with. And for those toy aficionados and diehards like me, fanatics, these were in, not, I don't know if it was these example, but they had these in Brian Moran's battery toy book. So I said, what the hell? I want them, and I got them all, so they'll go next to my cutie cooks, and hopefully they'll be small enough to display. Anyway, now the end of the stream is going to be the unboxing. Oh, but before I get to that, I know I did a short on these, but these are the boxes. If you're a collector, oh, you know what? Now, oh, I just did this, so let's make this bigger now. So, if you're in the market, these are loose original boxes that I have for sale because I needed to acquire all these to get one insanely rare box of a toy that I don't even own, and I'm hoping I can get the toy. So, um, whenever you watch this live stream, just remember these are all original, and I want a fair price. I'm not going to give them away, but I'm not going to price gouge anybody. So keep this in mind. I think I've shown these a couple of times. I haven't thrown them on like eBay yet. I know some people ask me to consign them. Might consider that, but mainly 60s. And they're in really nice shape, too. Major Matt. Astronaut Matt. Two more to go. This is Mirror Man, by the way. Bullmark Mirror Man. Got the sticker and everything over there going on. There's those cheesy monsters we all love so much. You know, Mirror Man and Ultraman kind of like harbingers of the Power Rangers. And I'll fix these up. And last but not least, this one's cool because if you're a robot collector, it's Ambassador Magma, kind of a robot fighting another evil robot. So you know you kind of get like the best of both worlds. Two robots, a good one and a bad one. Well, I guess Gigantor did that a lot. So let's put these two, three, and four. Boop. All right. Let's see here. Boop, 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 boop. I cut these open beforehand to save time because you know what? You don't want to watch me like ripping open boxes. The best part of the stream, in my humble opinion. See what the hell I have here. Oh, I need scissors. If anyone's locally listening to me, bring me some scissors. So this here, now these all came from Japan. That's why if you notice my boxes even, have the kanji on them. This was like a weird toy, and I'll tell you why. Because I've never seen this before, and thank you, Grasshopper. So anyway, what I like, first of all, I like tin stuff. Anyway, so check this out. This is a Jack in the Box. Okay, just an average, ordinary Jack in the Box. Now, you have this side here, you have this side, right? Got these guys. And then you start seeing, hey, wait a minute, there's a bat. A bat? What the hell's a bat doing in there? And this is loose, loose, not boxed. And then I saw the lid and it said monster, the box monster Jack in. Is that it? Jack in the box monster? There we go. And I was like, monster? I love monster toys. So when you depress this lever, there is a freaking Frankenstein in here. A vinyl. I've never seen this before. Never, ever, ever. Now, I don't know what this. Oh, that's the latch. I'm trying to relatch it here. But anyway, boink. I said, how often are you going to get a friggin' Frankenstein in the box? And I'm trying to see if there's a manufacturer. This is Hey Japan. So I actually had never seen this toy before. Now, getting the lid to stay shut is I'm not going to spend a lot of time doing that. You know what? We'll let it stay on. Yeah. I would display it like that anyway. So that was my first. This here is a minor. Very teeny tiny. which I like because I could display it. Now, if you've seen, like, whether you're watching this live, because I do get a lot of people watching these after I post them. If you've seen that monster in the box, Jack in the Box, do me a favor and let me know in the comments because I'd like to know. But the bidding on, if first there was like nobody bidding, then all of a sudden it was like a zillion people on it. So here I have a minor. I'll be honest with you, I bought it more for the box. So this is a Prince Planet whole toy. So you assemble it. Now, Prince Planet is very rare to find Prince Planet toys. And here's the little walkers. This is almost something like a cereal premium. So I'm not going to take it out of here. Um, there's not a lot of detail on the two figures. It's more the box graphics that I really liked. So I thought it was extremely cool. So, you know what? I'll open it. Let me open it just because if you took the time to watch this, you deserve to see it. It's like a blow molded. So here it is, Prince Planet, his little girlfriend. I mean, this thing is tiny. You know, no detail on the face. But again, the box is freaking awesome. It's like a TV screen. So now that I've opened it, actually, I'll use this little bag that the Frankenstein head was wrapped in. And we'll put Prince Planet away. Put him next to the Jack in the Box. Now, again, I don't find too many Prince Planet toys. All right, so that's one out of the way. Oh man, we're already almost up on an hour. And there's a couple of toys I didn't even get to um not get, but I didn't put them up here because they're toys that mostly everyone's seen. But I bought and maybe I'll do a next live stream a Japanese market tulip head and a thunder robot, like the Asakusa thunder robot. Seeing if it's an upgrade. But anyway, this here is pretty cool. John Smith, are you on here? Let me know in the remarks because I'm getting way more cars that, again, straight out of Japan, wrapped in Japanese newspapers. You can see what's going on there. Meanwhile, the news in Tokyo, and they're still selling DVDs. John Smith, where are you? Calling John Smith. Check this out. It's a car with a lithograph bottom, and this is Goku, not Dragon Ball Z Goku, but it's a Goku with. How freaking awesome is that? A, I've never seen a car. This is a station wagon where the head of the freaking character has a moving tongue and eyes. You see that? I wanted to show you this Goku. This is Goku, but not Dragon Ball Z Goku. What's that?
Journey to the West. I gotta show Wei.
You want to take it and show her? And look at this. Be careful with that. Want to say hi to the audience? Let me show you. But don't break the eyes of the tongue. Isn't that the coolest thing? Huh? I don't know if you're right. You can research it more.
Ansing. This is Yubahi. This
Uh-huh.
is a Chinese story, and this is Sun Wukong. Actually, they just made the game Wukong,
Uh-huh.
Black Myth. This is the same character, actually.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Why would Japan have made that? Well,
So this story is super popular in Japan because you know how much China and Japan influenced each other. It's
Mm-hmm.
super popular there.
And what's it called?
Journey to the West.
Let's see. Journey to, I'm gonna Google it while you show her. Journey to the West. He might be right. Let's see if he's right. Well, this is looks like live action. Hmm. There must have been an animated version. No, not that one. If when I find one in the box, I'll sell it. So keep watching, and eventually. Now this is now if you pay attention to my channel, you'll notice once in a while I buy things to upgrade, and they end up being variations. Like it's happened with Tetsugen a lot, and Adam, and this is another Adam toy, and this also comes wrapped with this lovely lass from Japan. Now, if this is identical, I'm only going to keep one of these, but I know my other one, I wanted to upgrade it a bit, so hopefully this is. And again,
The way he translated it, it's called Wukong Adventure on
Wu
the side.
Wukong.
Adventure.
I wonder how you spell that.
WUKONG.
Uh huh.
Adventure.
And we're gonna do more research on the Goku car. Here we go. Looks like this monkey guy.
Yeah, she translated it from here.
So that's not the one you were talking about.
No, it's the same. It's the same story.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's the same.
So Goku's the monkey then.
Goku's has monkey in Japan. Wukong is translated to Goku.
Well, I thought you said it was Journey to the something or other.
It is. It's the same story.
Did you show her this moving?
Yeah.
Who's this?
Oh.
Hmm. I like this toy. So Yu here wants to buy it. He said, "Is it for sale?" You never know. Like I said, I like to get it in the box. So, all right, all right. Oh yeah. Yep. This makes me happy because I am positive beyond the shadow of a doubt. This is an upgrade over my current one, and it's this beautiful Atom car. But I think he should be moving his head. And now, okay, again, here's the thing. The boxes back there, these boxes are for sale. These boxes. Um, so the condition of the tin's a little bit better than what I have, but mine, the head moved. This one's not. Oh, is it moving? Yeah, it's moving, I guess. Is my audio still? Yeah, my audio's working. So now this The other thing, it looks like this somebody may have tried to fix it. I can't tell 100%, but the tabs do have a little. So when I look at the if there's any loss of paint. So I'm gonna have to compare it with the other one, but condition wise, it's definitely better. Well, let's put Goku here. But so here's the dilemma, right? I could send that off, probably the Robot Hut to open it up. But we just had the situation where I showed you in this live stream where the flying saucer had the character that moved, the Tetsujin that moved, and the the one that didn't move. So I don't know if that car is a variation where the head doesn't move now. Who the hell knows? All right, last but not least, this was my waiting again, straight from Japan. This is crazy rare, this toy. Crazy rare. How rare is it? I didn't even know they made this toy. And it was brought to my attention. I was like, holy macaroni. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I'm going to show you this. And again, I've never seen this before. Oh, wow. I think we broke an hour. This is made by TT. TT out of Japan. Are you ready for the highlight of human history? The highlight of Western civilization. Well, let me take it out of the box. Hey, Patrick, what's going on? You're catching me at the end, but everything's going good. You're gonna have to rewind it and watch it from the beginning. I actually referenced Scott Adams, but I'm glad you made it on here for the last final few minutes. So check this out. I never have seen this toy ever, ever, ever. It is so freaking rare that I didn't even know it existed. I'd say that's pretty rare. So we'll start with this end panel. Right? I bet you, let's see if you kind of, all right. You got this. So it's the bum, 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 the Thunderbirds freaking, a Thunderbird's car. I had never seen this in my life. Now, if you have seen this, you could tell me. I had no idea they ever made this. And it's got this whole spacey lithography nonsense going on. Not nonsense. I love it. The blue with the stars. The freaking rocket ships are on the hood of the car, on the roof. You got the characters on the deck lid. If you're a Thunderbirds fan, man, this is like got to be one of the holy grails. It's just unreal, and it's pristine, man. Look at the bottom; it's like brand new. Let me tell you something. The bidding on this thing got crazy. This was out of Japan, and people were like all over this thing. At first, it was flying under the radar, and then all of a sudden, at the end, it was like, million yen, million two. So, and by the way, just to show you, if you're wondering, we'll go to a million yen right now is 6,700. And oh, wait, you can't see that. Let me shrink myself. So, anyway, let me go show you one last time this beautiful box and toy. We'll put the Thunderbird car here. Yeah. And let me shrink my ugly mug here. So we are at 67 cents on the dollar for yen, which means a million yen is $6,700. So if you spend 2 million yen, that's $13,500 to give you an idea. And the reason I use 2 million is because recently I found another unbelievably rare toy and it was like 2.3 million yen. So that'll be on the next live stream next month. And I think that kind of wraps up everything that I was going to say. We're at like An hour and 5 minutes, I believe. And by the way, somebody was talking about, I don't know who it was, social media, right? This is my parting thing. And I hear like, Facebook has become boomer book. But you know what? What hasn't? Is there a social media that is not boomer book anymore? I mean, TikTok. You have freaking politicians on TikTok that are like 70 and 80 years old. You can't escape it. Um, X or Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. You know what it is? People are going to go to social media where they can spread influence or make money. That's it. And those people that want to do that, right? Whether they want exposure or they're narcissists, whatever the case may be, they're going to go no matter what age group they're in. So I was thinking about that because people always harp on Facebook, but you know what? I see older people on every social media platform. And when you have like octogenarian politicians on friggin' TikTok, it's like, well, yeah, I get that there's a lot of young kids there, but you know, how are you going to stop that exactly? People always will use whatever is at their disposal to get their message out. Always. It doesn't matter what it is. And you know what? Maybe the kids like um, could sort of like create the trend, but once the adults get a hold of it, and it happens in music and everything when you think about it. Like the kids like the Beatles, right? What happens after the kids went crazy for the Beatles? Corporations got a hold of it and they're in freaking movies, toys, to a level that was never seen. Like you didn't have that with Elvis before that. But toys, cartoons, all the different movies. You did have the movies with Elvis after, but that was in the 60s, the same time period. And then by then you probably had like, I think that's when everything coalesced, right? We're like, hey, we're going to make a lot of money. But that's when the older people get in and they're like, we're going to make a lot of money doing this crap. So anyway, that wraps up my monthly. I mean, I'd like to do this more frequently, but right now, I mean, I could barely have time to do it. And I did delay my trip to Japan. I was supposed to go, what is this, in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, but a lot of things because of the two hurricanes, projects going on in buildings and houses and stuff. And Patrick, yes, I agree with you. Facebook Marketplace is awesome. There's nothing like it. And as a matter of fact, the groups on Facebook, I've found a lot of cool stuff that I've collected. I've made deals for some of the rarest pieces in the world. I mean, like, stuff that's worth close to six figures on Facebook from collectors that either approach me or they post something, people that I know. Hell, I had somebody come from Germany to hand deliver something that was that rare and that, needed to be hand delivered in order, to be safe. So yeah, you're not going to get that on Twitter for sure. You're not going to. I don't think you're going to get that on TikTok. So yeah, I agree. And you know what? Kids aren't into the. Let's go kind of go back to. They're not into the same motivations that an adult person would be. So um, it's not only that. There's groups now on Facebook can almost be like next door. You make a local group. Hell, I made a local group and it has almost 10,000 people already, just like people that live in the beach area where I'm at. The other thing, and I'll conclude on this, for all the people that hate on Facebook, I do reels on Facebook, which are like the equivalent of TikTok videos or shorts on YouTube. For instance, this morning short that I did, um, I think on YouTube it has 160 views. On Facebook Reels, posted at the same time, same song, 1,500. Some of the other ones during the hurricane on Facebook Reels, and I have 750 followers on Facebook versus 6,500 subscribers on YouTube. The Facebook Reels, same topic, Two of them over 5,000 views. The highest view count on YouTube was 700. My son, who I use his song that King Banana Head, he'll make some cool, because he's a musician. Like he just did a Radiohead short. His same thing. Like all of a sudden, shorts from certain demographic types, they get like 400 or 500 views. How's that possible? Or like, I mean, 80, 90% of my shorts always have the same view count. It seems like, well, no, it's baloney. Um, I've had shorts with 50% likes on YouTube, which is unheard of. In other words, like if it had 100 views, it would have 50 likes. That's not the ratio that you would normally get because a short that has 10,000 views would rarely have 5,000 likes. And guess where I'm going with this is they absolutely totally suppress stuff on YouTube way more than they do on Facebook, in my opinion. Now, maybe politically, Facebook might be a little more censorious. I don't know. I mean, because I don't do anything political on Facebook, but that's just my observation. Anyway, with that, listen, everyone, I appreciate you joining me, and I hope you have a very nice Sunday. I hope this was informative because we went through all like some cool auction stuff. And as always, I appreciate your time. And probably for now, it's kind of, it seems like it's the once a month when I have time to get these packages delivered and then I unbox them. But if I can start doing them maybe twice a month and maybe increase frequency that way, I will consider that. But for now, that's it. Thank you very much again. And listen, enjoy the final hours of your weekend, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.